Happiness is a universal aspiration. Everybody wants to achieve it. Throughout our life, we seek it in various ways and at different stages. But as we grow older and take on more responsibilities, the temptation to defer happiness to a later time grows. It's easy to succumb to our daily routine and think that we can only be happy once we achieve a particular milestone. In this constant rush that is life, we forget to actually live it and enjoy the present moment in all its uniqueness. Whether we're aware of it or not, we often defer our happiness to a point in the future when everything will be perfect. The problem with doing so is that we don't allow ourselves to be truly content until we reach a fictitious and self-imposed target. And the problem is that this target is always moving. There are enough variables in life that this perfect situation we're waiting for will likely never happen. If we continue to deny ourselves the ability to be happy right now, then we will live the majority of our lives rushing through the present for a future that is always out of reach. So what can we do in this case? How do we achieve happiness without pointlessly chasing a target that we'll never catch? And does age influence our ability to be happy? Surprisingly, happiness evolves with the different ages and milestones we experience. And no, that is not that bad of a thing, really. What made you happy as a child might not produce the same feeling as a teenager or as an adult. But don't worry, your overall happiness levels do not oscillate dramatically throughout your life, but rather, they seem to be following a certain pattern over the lifespan. As we progress through childhood, adolescence, adulthood, and old age, we might find that different aspects of life provide us with greater satisfaction and meaning. As we've said before, happiness seems to follow a certain pattern over the course of people's lives, even though each individual has a unique experience of life. Usually, the pattern starts with high life satisfaction at the beginning of one's life, then dips from young adulthood to midlife, and then climb again throughout the later stages of life. Why does it dip? And is there any way we can prevent that from happening? Well, this is what this video is all about, to help you understand how you can be happy and satisfied with your life, no matter your age. Happiness means something different for each and every one of us. For some people, happiness means having their spouses make them coffee every morning. For others, happiness means traveling every chance they get. However, certain influences on one's happiness may be stronger at specific life stages. For example, having freedom during childhood, socializing in adolescence, or professional goals in adulthood. So for each stage in life, there are particular requirements that must be met in order for the individual to be truly happy. There are, of course, other requirements that are more generalist that a person can implement at any stage in life. But for now, let's focus on those particular requirements for each stage of life. Let's start with childhood first. Childhood, ages 0 to 12, is a time of wonder and exploration, and usually, happiness comes easier, more naturally. But there are certain key factors that can enhance a child's happiness. A great place to start is by meeting 3 of the child's basic needs: freedom, belonging, and fun. In order to do that as a parent, it is important to foster a nurturing environment that is safe and loving. In that safe environment, you can find opportunities for children to feel a greater sense of independence and hence give them that freedom that they crave. By having a choice in certain matters, and by having a positive relationship with their parents, caregivers, and peers, children get a strong foundation for emotional well-being and, of course, happiness. Spending quality time with their family, friends, and other peers, children cultivate that sense of belonging, which, again, adds to their overall happiness. The last basic need of a child, the need for fun, comes from play, creativity, and in some cases, even education. By encouraging children to play, be creative, and explore their interests, we help foster happiness. Allowing them to express themselves through activities such as art, music, and sports can have a profound impact on their emotional development. By providing them with a stimulating educational environment, we can also contribute to their happiness. Learning and acquiring knowledge can be a source of joy for children too. As children grow and reach the age of 13, they become adolescents, and with that, their needs and expectations change. Happiness between the ages 13 and 19 looks different compared to childhood. Adolescence is a time of rapid growth and self-discovery, and it can be quite challenging, not just for the parents, but for the teen too. However, with the right approach, this stage in life can also be a happy and fulfilling one. One important aspect of adolescence is self-identity. This is a crucial time in one's life, as their personality develops further and shapes them into the adults they will become. By exploring their passions, interests, and values, teens get to discover themselves, what they like and dislike, and what their expectations, values, and standards are. This whole self-discovery process will lead to greater happiness, as they begin to understand who they really are. Another need that is crucial to a teen's happiness at this stage in life is the need for healthy relationships. Despite not being a child anymore, an adolescent is still quite impressionable and easy to sway one way or another. So while socializing is detrimental to their happiness, who they socialize with is also extremely important. Adolescents need support and guidance in building healthy relationships. Positive friendships and connections with adults can contribute to their overall happiness. Social plans, sports, volunteering, and even religious services have also been found to be linked to greater happiness at this stage in life. In contrast, being alone, listening to music all the time, and time spent online are linked to less happiness in adolescence. This stage in life is also the perfect time to teach teenagers how to cope with stress and setbacks. Developing this kind of resilience is crucial during this phase, as it will help them prepare and face life's challenges with a healthy, positive attitude. And lastly, good sleep is another key to happiness in adolescence. With all the changes they go through, both physically and mentally, it's important to establish a good sleeping pattern. The teenage years pass by in a blur for some, and before they know it, they're 20 and in their early adulthood stage, which usually lasts until the age of 40. This is a period of self-fulfillment, career development, and building relationships. The majority of people get married at this stage in life, which can also add to their happiness levels. But one of the most important factors in this phase of life is employment. Employment has a strong influence on almost everything an individual does on a day-to-day basis, and it is crucial for life satisfaction and happiness. As a young adult, it is important to pursue a career that aligns with your passions and values, while also focusing on personal growth. Setting and achieving goals, both personal and professional, can be incredibly fulfilling at any stage in life, but it is even more important in early adulthood. As the saying goes, you have to start on the right foot. So by choosing to pursue what you're truly passionate about, by focusing on professional and personal growth, you set yourself up for happiness and fulfillment at this stage in life, and the next ones too. However, the darker side of these early adulthood years is that many people focus so much on achieving goals and reaching milestones that they forget they also need to focus on building a work-life balance that is sustainable throughout the years. Not having a healthy balance between work and personal life can lead to burnout, which in turn can lead to unhappiness. In this phase of your life, more than ever, it is important to prioritize self-care, as these habits you're building now will stay with you for the rest of adulthood. Another important factor that influences happiness at this stage in life is adopting a healthy lifestyle. Regular exercise, eating a balanced diet, managing alcohol intake, and adequate sleep all contribute to a happier and more productive life. And lastly, just like in the adolescence phase, it is important to maintain and even strengthen social bonds in order to achieve greater life satisfaction. Building and nurturing positive relationships with friends and family can provide emotional support and enhance your happiness. So we found what makes young adults happy, but what about older ones? Between the ages of 41 and 65, you will find yourself in the middle adulthood stage of life. Yes, you were an adult before, and you're still an adult now, but priorities and lifestyles tend to shift ever so slightly around the age of 40. According to research, there's actually a dip in your happiness curve around the age of 40. But the bright side is that once you pass that, your happiness will grow as you age. As you reach middle adulthood, or middle age, you have more time to reflect upon your life so far and reevaluate. This is also a time where, for many individuals, ego shifts. While many tend to have higher egos when they're younger, once they reach middle age, they tend to loosen up their grip on it, as they seem to realize that it is standing between them and happiness. This is the age where many realize that they do not have to be in competition with literally everybody in order to do good in life. And with this realization, certain shifts happen. Many tend to prioritize what they truly love at this stage in life, rather than what others expect of them. They set and pursue new goals, learn, grow, and even change. Whether it's a new career, a hobby, or a skill, embracing opportunities for personal development at this stage in life will lead to greater happiness. Of course, just like in the previous phase of life, nurturing relationships is yet another key to a happy and fulfilled life. But compared to early adulthood, the way middle-aged people interact and socialize will differ drastically. Emphasis in this phase is more on quality rather than quantity. With individuals having a better grasp on who they are and what they want by this stage in life, they will become more selective with their socializing, which in turn will lead to greater satisfaction. Also, by this stage in life, many have achieved the financial security they strive for or are close enough to achieve it. This, in turn, will lower their stress levels and contribute to their overall happiness. Middle adulthood is also the time when individuals should double down on self-care. With healthy habits formed in their early adulthood, individuals are encouraged to continue maintaining their physical and mental health by doing regular checkups and learning stress management techniques. But if you find yourself at this stage in life with no prior self-care habits, don't panic. It is never too late to start prioritizing your well-being. The last stage of life, late adulthood, usually coincides with retirement. This is a time for reflection and relaxation, as you've worked hard your entire life and you need and deserve this break. As we've mentioned before, your happiness curve tends to move upwards as you age, and by retirement, you will most likely find yourself to be just as happy as when you were a child, or even more happy than that. Older adults know themselves better by now, and they also know how to derive happiness from meaningful relationships, volunteer work, and other smaller moments of joy. In contrast, young adults would crave novelty and adventure, but an older adult will appreciate better a visit from an old friend or a delicious meal served for them. There are also a few things that you can do at this late stage in life in order to maximize your happiness. One of those is sharing your wisdom and experiences with younger generations. This can provide you with a sense of purpose, which we all know is directly linked to happiness. This is also a time where it is crucial to continue to engage in physical and mental activities. By keeping your mind and body active, you can help maintain your independence and overall well-being. Also, continue to maintain social connections with friends and family. Loneliness can be a significant challenge in late adulthood, so staying socially engaged is vital. And lastly, and probably one of the most important aspects in this stage of life, embrace the changes that come with aging. Yes, we know it's never easy, but by finding contentment and acceptance in your later years, you don't just age gracefully, you also become happier and can lead a more peaceful life. By covering each stage in one's life and their respective requirements for happiness, it is easy to spot certain aspects that keep repeating themselves. The ultimate common denominator for happiness is not career achievement, money, exercise, or a healthy diet. Although these things do contribute to greater life satisfaction, it is ultimately the positive relationships that we nurture that keep us happier and healthier and even help us live longer. This is not just something that we've discovered as we've done this video, but rather it is an observation of an 85-year-long study conducted by Harvard researchers. In this study, which began in 1938, researchers have collected health records from 724 participants from all over the world, and have also asked them detailed questions about their lives every 2 years. Their most consistent finding was that having a social life and positive relationships contributed greatly to an individual's happiness and health. As you have probably already noticed, relationships can affect us physically. Think about the sleepless nights one spends whenever they're experiencing romantic troubles, or how invigorated you feel after a good conversation with someone who seems to understand you completely. These are all physical consequences of social interactions. So it seems natural to assume that if socializing affects you physically, then it is guaranteed to affect your mood too, including your happiness. But it is not enough to just establish friendships or intimate relationships. We also need to take care of them. We need to take stock of our relationships constantly and be honest with ourselves about whether we're devoting enough time to our connections and if these connections help us thrive in return. Basically, relationships take work, constantly, but they also have to be a give and take, not just a one-sided effort. If you fail to respect these terms, then your social life might end up doing you more harm than good. Luckily, there are criteria that you can use to figure out whether your relationships provide you with the help and support you need, but also to measure whether you reciprocate the effort. If you have somebody in your life who you can call in the middle of the night or in a crisis, if you have someone who helps you grow, try new things, take chances, someone you can confide to and who knows almost everything about you, someone who shares similar beliefs or experiences, if you have romantic intimacy with someone, if you have someone who can help you when you need it the most, if you have someone who you can relax and have fun, then you have a good and healthy relationship. Of course, not all your friends will be able to fulfill all of these criteria, but even if it is just half of them, it is still considered a good friendship. And when you're surrounded by good friends and great social interactions, you don't just get to de-stress, you also increase your happiness levels and feel good on a physical level. This social system that everyone should develop during every stage of their lives is also a support system, the one that keeps us sane, the one we can call in a crisis, the one who believes in us and pushes us to be the best version of ourselves. That constant thing that we can always turn to, no matter how drastically our circumstances change. The system that makes us happy at every stage in our life. The ancient Greek philosopher Aristotle was actually the first person to acknowledge that we, as humans, are social animals. Little did he know how much that social aspect actually matters, and how much it can impact our lives and mental well-being. So if there is one thing you should take from this video is this: at every stage of your life, there is one constant thing that you can always do in order to improve the quality of your life and be happy. And that is to nurture and grow your relationships. It might seem tempting to ignore this aspect when you're busy chasing fame, money, or other material things. But you need to remember that the quality of your social life will affect other parts of your life too. So don't be afraid to put yourself out there, and also don't be afraid to reach out to the people in your life. Whether it's just a question or a moment to just check in and see how they're doing, it's never too late to deepen the connections that matter to you. Have you noticed a link between your social life and your overall mood? Do you think that your relationships affect you mentally and physically? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you enjoy this type of content and want to see more, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell icon so that you can be notified each time we post new content. Thanks for watching, and we will see you again in our next video.